Coming to you from Annapolis, Maryland, home of the U.S. Naval Academy, the sailing capital of the world, home of the world's largest crab feast, and 4 signers of the Declaration of Independence. This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, a daily roundup of local news that you can use, including local sports, local events, local opinion, and local weather from DMV Weather. Now here's your host, publisher of Eye on Annapolis, John Frenaye.
Good morning. It is Monday, March 5th, 2018. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Boy, I tell you, did the Navy Stadium look amazing on Saturday night or what? The Caps ended up defeating the Maple Leafs 5-2, but I'll tell you, we had a chance to see the United States men's curling team, gold medal winners, the United States women's hockey team, also gold medal winners, and the stadium just looked absolutely spectacular. The NHL did a fantastic job laying out the rink as an aircraft carrier, the lighting, the entertainment, the exposure on NBC. What a great night for Annapolis. And traffic wasn't even that bad. Very early yesterday morning in the 900 block of Bethany Court, a car crashed into the rear of a home. There was a single occupant, the driver, who was taken to shock trauma for unknown injuries at this point. The building inspector was called, the home was deemed uninhabitable, and a family of 4 who escaped injury was displaced. The Red Cross is helping the family, and there were no reported injuries to anybody other than the driver. Saturday night, the Lighthouse Homeless Shelter was evacuated after a chemical odor was discovered in the building. Fire crews responded along with hazmat teams, and they found that a chemical, unknown at this point, appears to have been poured down a maintenance drain. The 45 occupants were initially moved to the Stanton Community Center. Then yesterday, they were moved to the Pip Moyer Rec Center, which is equipped to handle overnight guests, and it is one of the emergency evacuation centers in an emergency situation. The lighthouse is going to remain closed and uninhabitable until an environmental company assesses and cleans the shelter. The Red Cross is also assisting with the residents who were displaced by that. There were no injuries that were reported to occupants or fire personnel, but we still don't know what the chemical was. If you've ever logged on to the Maryland judiciary system, there's been a big change recently. The names of all arresting officers and other law enforcement authorities involved in cases have been removed from the state's searchable public court database. They vanished sometime on Thursday, and there was no announcement from the Maryland judiciary as to why. The Maryland Judiciary Case Search Database contains information about court cases, including information about defendants, the charges they face, the names of the prosecutors and defense attorneys, as well as law enforcement officers who were involved in the arrest. It is an integral tool for members of the public, lawyers, and journalists as well. Now, police in Anne Arundel County said they began lobbying several years ago for how officers' names were displayed in the search case, but they never wanted the names removed entirely. All they had asked for was no first names, and that was for the protection of the officers. Manuel Ortiz of Laurel is a lucky man. He bet $5 at Maryland Live and is now a millionaire, winning over $1 million. Ortiz of Laurel scooped up $1,075,710 after hitting the Super 4 Blackjack Progressive Jackpot. He won the money after playing for just under 2 hours. Good job on you, Manuel. Obviously, we had a storm Friday and Saturday, and BGE is continuing to restore electric service to customers that are affected by the powerful nor'easter that began moving through the area on Friday. There were 435,000 outages reported at the peak due to the high sustained winds and gusts exceeding 70 miles per hour. Currently, there are about 40,000 customers without power. Power is expected to be restored to all public schools within BGE's service area by last night, and while outages continue to decrease, much of the remaining work in the system is very labor-intensive and time-consuming, and once it's completed, the jobs are likely to restore service to smaller groups of customers at a time, and BGE warns in many cases it may only be a single customer. So if you still do not have electricity, it may be some time before it is restored. However, BGE does ask everybody, including those with smart meters, to report their outages. Outages may be reported online at bge.com via their free mobile app, which you can get at the Apple Store or Google Play, or you can report outages by calling 877-778-2222. So definitely, if you don't have power, make sure you make the call, even if you know your neighbor did. That way BG&E knows about it. That's about all I have for the news today. Hang tight. I've got George Young, who's going to recap that storm. And I understand it had a name. It was called like Winter Storm Riley or something crazy like that. But George Young from DMV Weather is going to recap that storm and have your local weather forecast coming right up.
I'm Sean ONeal, your local RBC Wealth Management Advisor. When you choose to work with me, you'll have access to a worldwide network of financial products and services only available from a leading global institution. RBC's international reputation for physical strength and stability, world-class capabilities, and corporate values is unique in the financial services industry. I also recognize the importance of reinvesting in the communities in which we live and work, and I'm committed to serving my clients by building long-term relationships based on trust, integrity, and confidence. I look forward to helping you with your wealth management needs. Call me, Sean ONeal, today at 410-573-6723 for a complimentary consultation.
RBC Wealth Management, a division of RBC Capital Markets, LLC. Member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC. This is Maryland. The weather can be nearly unpredictable. We've got George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis to sort it all out.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and here is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Monday, March 5th. First, a quick recap of the great windstorm of 2018. In the end, it was a storm that really lived up to the hype and delivered all of what was expected, if not more. Wind gusts as high as the 60 to 70 mile per hour range across all of Anne Arundel County, power outages in and around the region, down trees in nearly every community from Severna Park to Annapolis to Deal, and very low water levels on many shorelines from Pasadena to Cape St. Clair to Edgewater and beyond, as winds out of the northwest gusting to 35 to 50 and higher for nearly 40 straight hours pushed much of the water out of relatively shallow waterways into the bay and ultimately exposed bottom surfaces not seen too often, giving all a rare view of the landscape in their daily communities. Definitely a storm to remember. As for today, the Annapolis area and all of Anne Arundel County will finally get lighter winds, although still a bit breezy, as temps climb up into the 45 to 50 degree range today under sunny skies, which is pretty much the norm for March 5th. But that will be followed quickly by more rain or possibly even some mixed precipitation as another storm moves through starting in the PM hours tomorrow. And if the timing is just right, temps could possibly be cold enough tomorrow night for some rain-snow mix and maybe even a little sleet. We'll have our official forecast for this one by 8 p.m. tonight, but the expectation now is for mainly rain and then more rain likely on Wednesday. From there, temps should stay in the 40s for highs the rest of the week all the way through the weekend, so don't put away the coats just yet, even as we hit daylight saving time on Sunday at 2 a.m. Okay, that's it for us today. Be sure to download our free weather app by searching for DCMD Weather in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store, and also follow us at dmvweather.com or on Twitter or Facebook so you can always stay weather informed. This is George Young of DMV Weather with your Eye on Annapolis forecast. Make it a great week out there, and remember, whatever the weather outside, have fun and be safe.
Mark your calendar. March 10th is the kickoff of Irish Week in Annapolis, and it all starts with the Eastport Democratic Club's annual Green Beer Races. Keg tosses, best dressed contest for you and your pooch, the Irish Rock and Rollers of Dublin 5, plenty of food, and well, because it's called the Green Beer Races, there's green beer and plenty of racing, both for the underage kids and the overaged kids too. This is a fun time for the whole family, including your pets, so roll on out of bed sometime on Saturday morning, the 10th of March, and head on over to the EDC at State and Chester. It all gets underway at the usual East Puerto Rican time, the crack of noon.
Thanks for listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. If you like what you heard, make sure to tell your friends and colleagues about it. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find much more. Be sure to check out our other weekly podcast, The Maryland Crabs. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.